Marmalead is an awesome tool for finding keywords for your Etsy listings, but it can also be super powerful for doing new product development and research. In today's jam, we're talking about how to get the most out of Marmalead when you're looking at entering a new market. What is up? Welcome to the Jam. I am Gordon from Marmalead.
And I'm Richie from Marmalead.
And what are we talking about today on the Jam, Richie?
Today we're talking about using Marmalead for new product development. So what is that? Well, whether you have a new shop or an existing shop and you want to add some new products to your store, some new listings, we're going to show you we're going to talk about how to use Marmalead to facilitate that, to help you find out what people want to buy, and we're going to do that through keywords.
Yeah, absolutely. And normally when you're in Marmalead, you're looking for good keywords for your listing, which are going to be more specific keywords, long tail things and stuff like that. When you're doing product dev, the process is kind of that in reverse. You don't want to be looking at very specific keywords at first. What you want to do is do a search in Marmalead for some very generic keywords, and then use the keywords that we bring back as part of that result set to kind of understand where you should be looking inside of that. So an example would be, let's say I want to sell some sort of a digital download. Well, that's very vague, but that's a perfect place to start inside of Marmalead when I don't know exactly what market inside of digital downloads I want to target yet. So if I jump into Marmalead and I do a keyword search for digital download, that's going to be where I can start this process of market research.
You're going to see both similar shopper keywords down there, or similar shopper searches, and also you're going to see the long tail alternatives table, which is going to help you to identify popular market niches under that larger market. So it's going to give you the alternatives basically of you put in digital download and it's going to say, hey, this one's not long tail. Here are some suggestions along those lines that are long tail.
And it's going to show you right there which ones are the most popular of those long tail keywords too. So you know immediately which submarkets underneath digital download have the most engagement, yet are still niche markets. And those are great places to start. And as you're doing this process and finding these keywords, add them to a keyword list inside of Marmalead. Build out, a new product research keyword list. And as you're finding things that could be a good fit, add them to a list. It's an easy way to keep track of those words. And if you find out some of those things don't pan out, you can remove them from the list later on.
And when you have that list, now you have a nice, strong candidate list of keywords, and those could be great, right? But now you want some more of them also. So what you want to do is you want to jump into Storm, which is one of the features there in Marmalead, and you want to add even more to the list. So you want to take those keywords that you think are good ones, use those as seed keywords in Storm so you can find more like those. And the idea is to get nice, big, healthy lists of keywords so you can go from there.
Exactly. And so now we have a nice big list of suggestions for markets that, we think we could actually create the things for those markets, and they could be something that sounds like fun to us, and it looks like an area that might be successful. But what we really want to do now is figure out which of those has the most promise, which of those areas seems like it makes the most sense to attack. And so what you'll want to do next is start to vet each of those words that you have in your list by using a keyword search. You can note any other phrases that you see in those results as well, but you're going to want to look at some of the information on that keyword search page to understand whether or not there's any life to this submarket that you think you've found on Etsy. And you're going to look at searches, you're going to look at engagement and what the competition level looks like, just like you would when you're normally selecting keywords inside of Marmalead. But you want to be coming at it from a perspective of, does this have life here? Is this a good market? Don't be so concerned with super high competition numbers like you would when you're picking keywords for your listings. We'll do that later. Right now, we're just trying to look and see, is this actually like a valid market? Is there interest for this thing that I could be making and selling inside of my shop?
I want to take a moment to thank you for tuning into the Jam by Marmalead. Marmalead helps guide you to keywords that real Etsy shoppers are using, so you can get more sales doing what you love. Check out Marmalead in the link in the description or at marmalead.com. So one thing that you want to be aware of there is seasonality. Inside the keyword search, we're going to show you the seasonality of those keywords. So just because a keyword is showing, in the Marmometers and is saying, hey, there's not going to be a lot of search or engagement over the next 30 days, that doesn't mean that this is going to be wrong for a different time of year. You might be looking doing this research in the spring and come across something that'd be great for the fall or winter. So you don't want to throw that away. You want to make sure that you're going to be paying attention to that seasonality also and say, hey, this could be a great addition to my shop for the winter, especially if your shop is otherwise seasonally geared towards, let's say, summer and spring.
Absolutely. Those Marmometers at the top of the keyword search page are showing you what that keyword is forecast to do over the next 30 days. But if you're considering a market to get into, like Richie's saying, you really want to understand what that seasonality looks like for the whole year. You don't want to pick a keyword simply because it's supposed to do well in the next 30 days, only to find out that, oh, great, that market is dead, the other 335 days of the year. Another thing to consider when you're in there and doing your keyword research on these is to check out pricing. And you might not have a very good idea of how much it's going to cost or how much time it's going to take to make this right off the bat, but do a little bit of a gut check there and see if the pricing makes sense, because you might find that I really can't even compete in this market. It's going to be so expensive for me to be able to make this thing that I'm not going to be able to sell it for the prices that these other things are selling for. And so I'm really not even interested in spending my time on that. That's another way that you can kind of weed out some of those market options that you're finding and that you've added to your list.
That's a great point. If you think you found a market, you found something that you can make, but then you're seeing, look, the people are going to pay $20 for this, and there's no way I'm going to make this for $20. That's just not going to happen. And it could be for a variety of reasons. Maybe you want to make one that's higher quality than people are willing to pay for. And that's perfectly fine. You got to go through a bunch of ideas to find the good ones.
So there you guys go. There's some tips on how to best use Marmalead for doing new product development, new product research on Etsy, and figuring out what could work in your space. Hope you guys got a lot out of that. We will see you guys next time on the jam.